Welcome to the Ion Annapolis Local Business Spotlight. There are thousands of locally owned businesses in the area, some small and some large. Some you may know and others you don't. But one thing they all have in common is a great story, and we want to share it with you. Join us every Saturday as we talk to the founders, the owners, and the managers of local businesses you have come to know and love, and those you will come to know and love. Now here's your host, John Frenay, with this week's Local Business Spotlight.
Well, I made it through the most confusing place in the world, Port Annapolis Marina, but we are here. I'll tell you, that place is so confusing. There's so many buildings and there's so many businesses back here, you don't realize it. But
there are quite a few.
Yeah, we are talking, that voice you're hearing is Chris Ruggieri. Did I spell that right? Say that right?
Ruggieri, yes.
Okay. The voice you just heard there is Chris Ruggieri, who is the owner of Intrinsic. And I want to say Intrinsic Yachts, but it's not. It's Intrinsic, period, right?
It's Intrinsic Yacht and Ship is how we started, but we've pretty much shortened it to Intrinsic Yacht. You were right.
Okay. Well, and Ship? You sell ships too?
We don't sell ships. It's just back when I started, there's a couple of other, it just kind of went together.
That makes sense. It flowed.
Yeah, it flows.
It flowed. Well, when did you start? You said back when you started.
I started the company in 2001.
Okay.
I was 26 years old on my 26th birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
What possessed you to do that? Or are you still trying to figure that out?
Well, yeah. No, I think a lot of people are my parents as well. No, I'm just kidding. When I graduated college in 97, I was going to go work with my father in the real estate business, and I graduated. And I got home and he just said, I've changed my mind. I think you should go prove yourself or do something else for a couple of years, and then we can always circle back. So my uncle was looking to that. We grew up on the water. Everyone in my family had boats.
Are you from here?
I'm from Montgomery County, Maryland.
A hotspot of waterfront living.
Oh, yeah, exactly. My grandfather, my parents, my uncles, everyone in my family. I grew up, first time I ever slept in a real bed was on a boat out of a crib. And
that's cool.
So boats were in my blood, and my uncle was looking through the paper and he said, "Oh, there's a boat dealership looking for sales guys or girls." And so he said, "Why don't you apply?" So I said, "All right." Talked to my dad. He said, "Yeah, go give it a shot." So I went and they told me the deal. It's, commission only, how it all worked. And I said, well, just graduated from college. I still live with my parents. I said, yeah, I can afford to start and try this. So I did, and I ended up doing pretty well with it and met some pretty high up people at AOL and sold them boats and started managing their boats and hiring captains. And
you got a little bit of that AOL money without working there.
Yeah, way back then, yeah. So it was a fun ride. And I just thought, I didn't know exactly what I was going to do when I left there. And I kind of had an inkling in my head that I'd stay within the business. And I was talking to one of my clients. He said, well, why don't you just start a brokerage and keep managing our boats, and we'll see where it goes.
I want to interrupt here. You mentioned managing boats twice now. What's involved with managing boats?
Well, the clients were moving up in size, and so they were starting to deal with crew and logistics and moving them around and taking trips, and they'd have a problem. I've always taken we call it an Intrinsic now, the 360 approach. So from the day you buy your boat all the way through to the day you sell your boat, we are the only call you need to make. So whether you need service, you need it moved somewhere, you need it cleaned, you need it provisioned, you need anything done, you just call us and we'll handle it.
Okay. So you're, and is that still what you do?
Yeah, our service department.
So you're not really, or solely, a boat brokerage. You're a concierge.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, we don't do so much of the concierge stuff. I mean, we do. When it's someone will ask of it of us, we'll do whatever it takes to make sure, because these customers of ours, they only have a limited amount of time during the summer in our area to use their boat. You're out of commission for 2 or 3 weekends, you've missed a quarter or a third of the summer. So we try and stay on top of making it easy. They get the most use out of their boats that they possibly can in the season and make it as easy as possible.
That sounds like you're working on getting customers for life.
That's the goal.
That's awesome. So, okay, so you're working for a brokerage, as sales, as a daunting, terrifying commission only, but thank God I'm living at home with mom and dad.
Right.
There's no rent to make. And where did the career go from there?
So I started Intrinsic on my 26th birthday in January of 2001. And it literally was with, a small handful of customers and, a Yacht World and a website. And I just started building from there. Then the next progression was in 2005. A manufacturer had approached me to become a dealer. And of course, that entails floor plan and a lot more capital than I had at the time. So I put a business plan together. I was going to go to one of my customers and show them the business plan and see if he'd back me for a floor plan. And I had become very close with two other customers, and we had become friends, and they were in the tech world. And I brought the business plan to one of my friends, a client that became a friend, and he looked at it and said, you know what, we'll do it. So he and two of my customers got behind me. They backed the floor plan. So in 2005, we became a boat dealer and then immediately started the full-time service component.
Okay, when you say floor plan, what does that mean?
So it's a bank line of credits that boat dealers use to finance the inventory that you have to take and purchase.
Okay, right. Because I'm not buying a boat out of a catalog for the most part. For the most part, okay. I imagine car dealers probably have the same type of thing where they have to purchase the vehicles to have on the lot to do it.
Yes.
Do it there. Where did Intrinsic come from? The name. I mean, I know the definition is essential.
I was with a client in St. Thomas, and there was a big yacht at the marina, and it was named Intrinsic. And I just liked the font the name was written on the side of the boat with.
Did you steal the font?
I did not steal the font.
just the name.
Just the name. And so when I started the company, I remembered the name. I looked it up in the dictionary, and I said that would be perfect. So, integral part of something from within, and essential. So the name, I picked the name, and we went from there.
Well, back in 2005, when you became a dealer and took this second leap of faith in only 4 years of your of your career, and I imagine it was a leap of faith. What brand?
So we started with San Juan Yachts. They were Down East style, built out on the West Coast in Washington State. We had the entire East Coast for San Juan, and we were with them for about a year and a half, when my true passion is, I should have said in the beginning, is sport fishing, marlin fishing, and fishing all the tournaments in Ocean City and all that. So Ocean Yachts were represented by the dealer I had used to work for, and they knew I was a boat dealer at the time. So they called, and they had parted ways with where I used to be and asked if we would be interested. And so that meant an even bigger floor plan and a lot more service, and it just scaled up quickly.
Those are beautiful yachts.
Yeah, they're very pretty
boats.
So I was very excited, and I talked to my two clients that backed the floor plan. They were all for it. So we became an ocean yacht dealer in the end of 2005, beginning of 2006. We were with Ocean Yachts through the Great Recession, which was interesting. And up until Viking bought their plant in, I believe it was 2015.
Okay.
And in 2014, Hatteras called. We became the Hatteras dealer as well.
So currently now do you represent both Ocean and Hatteras?
Ocean has since gone out of business.
Okay.
Yes, we still represent Hatteras and Invincible center consoles.
Wow, Hatteras is a beautiful yacht too.
Yeah, they're very pretty.
I think you hit the top. Well, two of the top three, and Bertram, are they still in business?
Bertram is in one form, yes, still in business. They've been owned by a few people. Hatteras has also been owned by a few different companies along the way, but Bertram is still in business.
But they exist. So you're purely powerboats.
Purely powerboats.
Okay, and what is the smaller? You said the center consoles. So I mean that's
Invincible center consoles.
That's for like the common folk like me that can't.
I wouldn't say that. They are very high end offshore fishing and bay cruising. It's kind of a hybrid. They're very high end. They're very performance oriented. I have customers that take them 80, 90 miles offshore and back in a day.
Yeah. Okay.
Out of Ocean City. They're very well built.
What's the name of the game? Getting to the fish, fishing,
Getting
and
to the
getting back.
fish. That's right. Exactly right.
Oh, well, that's pretty neat. So those are the two brands that you
Carry currently.
Brands? Is that the word? Is that the word?
Manufacturers represent. Yep.
That's you. How good of a market is Annapolis? I mean, Annapolis is a sailing town, they say.
It is.
There's plenty of powerboats, of course, obviously. Good market for you guys?
It is a good market. It's a lot. We have an office in Ocean City, Maryland as well. And a lot of our Invincibles customers are from this area, but they also fish out of Ocean City. So we kind of cover both areas in sales and service. We do find that, and our Hatteras customers tend to, the Sportfish Hatteras customers tend to migrate towards Ocean City as well. So we do a lot of business down there in the summertime.
You still fishing yourself?
I do when I can. I fish on clients' boats. I'll take.
It's the best kind of boat. It's
absolutely somebody else's. It's funny, when we were an ocean yacht dealer, when we first started, part of the deal with Ocean was we would build a demo boat every year and keep it at Sunset Marina in Ocean City. And I had a full-time captain and crew, and we fished all the tournaments, and it actually did very well for us. Boats have gotten so expensive today, and that all came to an end at the recession, and then. Coming out the other end, the recession, we were more interested in retail sold units rather than having the expense of doing the demo program. But we actually did it with Hatteras in 2017. We had a 45 Hatteras that we kept in Ocean City, and we fished it all summer and sold it.
Did you get that, getting the White Marlin Open?
We did, yeah. We fished that. No, not that year.
You don't have the $20 million?
No. We placed, actually the first, in 2007, we placed in one of our oceans. We had the heaviest white marlin for the first 3 days. Then awesome. We got knocked into fourth place. But
that's the way it always happens.
Name of the game.
White marlin or rockfish, it doesn't.
Right.
It don't make a difference. It don't make a difference there. So, as a broker, do you trade in pre-owned?
We do
as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a big part of our business is brokerage boats.
What's the average lifespan of a boat owner? Not the lifespan of the owner, but of owning that boat. Between 2 and 4 years, I would say. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I had heard at one point, a long time ago, it was like every 4 years they get the itch and they need to do it.
It's between 2 to 4. 2 to 4.
Okay. And what's the average upsize?
It all depends. I mean, we've had people go from 36 Invincibles to a 39 Invincible to a 42. We've had people start with a 45 Hatteras and move up to a 54. Or actually, in one case, we have a customer that had a 45 Hatteras and built a 70.
Wow, there's a jump.
Yeah, it was a big jump. He still has the 45.
Is Hatteras still made down in North Carolina?
They are. Yeah. They are. They're owned by Johnny Morris of Bass Pro Shops now.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That happened back in 2021.
Okay. Well, what other areas? Okay, Ocean City, obviously, we can service out of Annapolis. I mean, where is your market here for Annapolis? And I know you've got a couple locations, right? You said Ocean City, you've got a shop down there.
Yeah, our two main locations are Ocean City and Annapolis here, Annapolis being the main location.
Okay.
And I would like to branch out to the Southern Bay, Virginia Beach area, and also would like to get a real brokerage operation going in Florida.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Florida seems to be the hot spot. That's the sailfish.
Yes.
Is as far as the billfish that are down there. I know.
Yeah.
That will do that. So, I guess Intrinsic Yacht is your website. It's INTRINSICYACHT.
That's correct.
Two tough words.
It is.
Intrinsic Yacht. Do you live locally?
I do. I live about 5 minutes from here.
So you're here 24/7.
24/7. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How big is your company? I mean, as far as employees and
right now we're We're about 14 employees right now, and we need service techs. We need some more brokers. So we're looking to expand a little bit.
So you're feeling the pinch on the on the labor thing as well.
Definitely.
How did COVID work? I mean, you talked about coming through the Great Recession, and congratulations for doing that. And hopefully we can stave that off again.
Sure.
This time right now. But COVID, I know I talked to Mary and Peter and some of the guys at the boat show, and the boat shows have been very successful for them. I mean, when COVID, it was like, okay, everybody get out, don't go anywhere, go boating. I mean, you
That's
might
right.
well have said. I mean, was it a very?
It was the craziest time I've ever experienced in my career. I mean, with some of the higher end boats that we carry, it wasn't so much first time boaters that was a big part of the COVID craze. It was a little more of just people saying, okay, I'm going to use my boat more. I'm going to move up. I'm going to step up in size, or I'm going to step up in quality, or what have you. But it was, we couldn't get boats. Back in March of 2020, I literally didn't know which way it was going to go. We had all our inventory and stock ready to go for the spring, and I didn't know which way.
We could have been out of business.
It was going to go one way or another, and it worked out. It worked out for the best.
I was talking to somebody at the boat show last year, and they said that of the 12 boats that they had on display there, that one of them was saleable. Just because said that there's 3 of them that are mine that are already deposited and they're scheduled for delivery. I pushed it off to get through the boat show. And the other ones I had to beg my customers that had already bought them and had already used them for a season to bring them back. And we would detail them and clean them up and everything else just to let me have them for a couple weeks. And that's amazing. That sort of speaks to how popular boating is and everything else. Are you guys at the boat show?
We are.
Okay.
We are.
I guess that's sort of a stupid question, is it, when you're, how could you not be? And I imagine when you guys, during COVID, when they canceled it, I know you, not you particularly, but I know down this whole area, they had a little sort of landside dock.
Yeah, we had little events with the boat or two that we had, able to be sold. So, but we borrowed and detailed and cleaned and promised and washed and did everything we could to get customers' boats for the shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you are, like I say, you are a full service. Okay, so you can do service.
We do.
You do maintenance on it. You do sales on that and everything else as well.
So service side, we're a dealer for Yamaha, Outboards, Mercury, and Mercruiser. We install, when someone buys a new boat, we install electronics. We do stereo upgrades, underwater lighting, all kinds of trick your boat out. There's not a whole lot that we don't do.
Okay.
In the service side.
Now, do you, as far as your brokerage goes, as far as the used, if you will, or pre-owned boats, is that a little bit, is that larger? I imagine it's.
Yeah, we do a little more volume in brokerage than new. We try and push brokerage as much as we can. You don't have to floor plan it. You don't have to maintain it. Brokerage is a good side of the business.
And how does that work? Just out of my own curiosity. Okay, you're here in a yacht yard in Port Annapolis. Do you rent slips?
We do. We have a couple slips, and we have a whole section up of land
Property
storage as well that we can put boats on for consignment.
And then the marina has its lifts and
correct.
And then you pay them within
to haul
your rent or
moving around,
thing or everything else like that. That's pretty neat. And your maintenance and stuff like that's done right here?
It's done here. We're very mobile as well. All of our techs have trucks, and we also have a big shop at CSI Marina down the road, so we can actually put a 42-foot Invincible inside, or a couple of them inside, and work on them through the winter. And most of the techs work out of the shop at CSI, just
Very
down the
cool.
road.
Very cool. People that are interested in a boat, come visit you.
Absolutely.
Website, again, intrinsicyacht.com. Your address here is Bemby Beach Road. It's in Port Annapolis Marina. And if you go down the driveway and you run into the Salty Dogs Cafe, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's right. First building on your left.
First building on your left? Is that what it is?
Upstairs, yeah.
Okay. See you at the boat show.
Absolutely.
And what's the process of buying a boat? How long does it take? If I'm creditworthy right now, and I say, hey, Chris, I need that 76-foot Hatteras. which in and of itself would be a joke because I know there's any bank would be dumb enough to give me that. I mean, but how long typically does?
So on Hatteras, they're built to order, and there's a lot of customization that goes into it. So if you're looking at a 60, 70 foot Hatteras, you're looking at 14, 16 months to get the boat.
Oh, okay.
To build it, get it.
Okay.
Have it dialed in.
What if I'm looking to buy one of your brokerage boats that you've
so
got up here?
Typically, it takes about 3 days for financing. You make the offer, subject to personal inspection. If you haven't seen it, survey, sea trial. While financing is going on, we arrange the surveys and sea trials. It's been a problem getting surveyors. They're so busy now that it can take up to a couple of weeks.
What's the surveyor do?
So the surveyor will come, and it's almost like a home inspection.
Okay.
And they'll go through the structure of the boat. They'll go over all the interior components of the boat, all the mechanicals of the boat. And then we also have bring an engine surveyor in that just does the engines.
Okay.
And make sure that everything, picks out all the deficiencies, make sure the boat's sound, and everything's in proper working.
And then roll it out for sea trials. And
then we go for a sea trial and then closing.
Okay. Clean it up.
So, I mean, we've had a newer boats that someone has called and wired money, and it was still under warranty, so they weren't worried about a survey, and it's gone in 24 hours. But most of the time, it's about a 3-week process, 3 week to a month.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool. When's your most popular time? I mean, when's your busy season?
That's a great question. It used to be spring and early summer was the busiest time. But if you think about it, with supply chain issues and everything else that's been going on, people will order boats whenever they feel it. And then it's just, and people think that we just sit around all winter. But even in the brokerage market, if you think it takes 3 weeks to a month to get the deal done, well, then you're going to want to get all your gear on it and do any modifications to the boat that you want to do. So it takes time. So even if you buy a boat in January, you'll close in February. You got March to get it ready, through March to get it ready, and then it's ready to go.
Then you're ready to go. And certainly, if I'm looking for a custom boat, I mean, I'm shopping now for probably a couple springs from now, as opposed to do it. So you really got an a year round business on that. And I imagine there's probably a few boats that I can roll in here in early April that you'd be like, yeah, okay, we can turn it around in a week or two and shine it up and put it out in the put it out in Back Creek for you.
Yeah.
What would people be surprised to know about Intrinsic?
A lot of people are surprised to learn that I started when I was 26, and that a lot of people still don't know that we do 360, that we're, buy, sell, and everything in between.
That probably worked out really well for you, didn't it?
It has. It has.
And I mean, I did have a boat a long time ago, and then I came to the realization that other people's boats were much more financially compatible with my wallet and my divorce, but they were intimidating. I remember buying and everything else. It was intimidating. I mean, as a first-time boat owner,
it is. I mean,
and that would have been something great to have somebody that let me call it Chris. Yeah,
I mean, that's what we do and what we pride ourselves on.
Yeah, I mean, it is intimidating.
It is, and it's. I always say it's definitely not as easy as buying a car, but it's not quite as hard as buying a house.
Legit. Yeah, fair. And your financing, I mean, I'm assuming you work with plenty of different marine financing companies.
We do. We offer in-house financing now, but we work with, my wife works for Intercoastal, so she does a lot of our lending.
When you say in-house financing, I mean,
we can take the credit app and send it directly to a bank we work with.
That's awesome. Again, that probably is that whole 360 thing.
That's right.
That's it.
We try and offer everything.
Well, if you don't want to wait till the boat show, go to intrinsic.com. Come visit them out here on Benby Beach Road at Port Annapolis Marina, first building on the left as you come down the driveway. And Chris Ruggieri, thank you so much for your time. And
absolutely, thank you.
More importantly, congratulations on taking that leap at 26.
Yeah, 26
to And were you still living in your parents' house when you took that leap?
No, I had left. It didn't take me long.
I hear you there. Come check them out. Some beautiful yachts that you've got, some beautiful sport fishers. Probably get some fish tales that you could probably tell as well with all your time out down there fishing off of Ocean City. And where are you located in Ocean City? You said we're in West Ocean City, right on Route 50. There'll be a couple boats out front. You can't miss it. And if you need service down there, we're happy to help as well. Fantastic. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this week's Local Business Spotlight. Please make sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinion. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you all the day's local news direct to your phone, tablet, or computer in about 10 minutes. It comes to you at 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.